There are some experts and gurus who say, I'll treat your stuttering in several days. And there are some traditional speech-language pathologists who say, there is just something we can learn to ease our stuttering, but there is still no effective treatment for it. I tend to disagree with both of them. I believe there's one critical thing that is overlooked by both gurus and conventional speech therapy. What is that? Let's find out. From time to time, I see comments in Facebook groups and forums from people who bought a very expensive stuttering treatment from someone who promised total cure in a matter of days. And it can be the promise that, we'll do something about your articulation, we'll teach you how to pronounce it right, you're just doing it in a wrong way. Or it can be, we'll just remove something, in your mindset, in your psychology, we'll remove some obsession, we'll increase your confidence, we know how to do it. And people say usually at first, it helped, and then my stuttering just came back. And if you give it a thought, it's really sounds ridiculous. Several days, in a matter of days, total cure. But people still buy. Why do they buy? What do you think? Because, and that's pretty natural, we're looking for stuttering treatment. We have a perception of stuttering as a medical category. Speech therapy, speech-language pathologist, right? So we believe that, like we go to the dentist, please remove my pain, right? And the dentist does something and removes my pain. So we expect the same thing to happen with our speech impediments. Please remove my speech impediments. Please do it. But stuttering is by far a bigger thing than just speech impediments. Stuttering is an automated speaking pattern. And speaking pattern consists of several layers. The very, very physical ones and the psychological, mental, emotional ones. Stuttering is even more than an automated speaking pattern. It's a state holding tons of our muscle and emotional memory. So is it possible to change our automated speaking pattern in a matter of days? I don't think so. We can shake it, right? We can shake it, but our stuttering is like a tree with deep roots. You can shake it, but it stays pretty much the same. We come back to it. There is one critical thing that is missing that we want to add to our exercises. Now, let's take a look at these people. Ed Sheeran, Emily Blunt, Bruce Willis, Samuel Jackson, Nicole Kidman, Elvis Presley. And we can continue this list on and on, but please guess, what is the common thing for all these people? They all stuttered, but they found a way to get free from stuttering. They regularly present themselves to the world. They regularly get to that feeling of interacting with the world. So that one thing that is outside of the conventional speech therapy, which is overlooked mostly by the gurus and experts who promise those cures in a matter of days, I call this one thing performance. And our speaking each time, whatever it is, whether it's a presentation at work, oral answer at school, or just meeting friends to socialize, each time we perform, we present ourselves, we interact with the speaking environment. And again, speaking, more than anything else, is that interaction with the speaking environment. And that's a big problem because we're scared to speak, we're scared to present ourselves, we're scared to perform. And you might ask me, how do I go performing if I stutter? And I have one practical suggestion for you. With this performance thing, we want to move step by step, building our confidence. So what we can easily do is, before going speaking, like in a speaking club that we have, I would suggest just record yourself. Just say something looking at the camera and find a place where you can upload that so that it becomes an interaction, and it becomes a form of interaction with someone who watched your video. You can go to Free From Stutter Facebook group and post your videos there. And once you start thinking about it, okay, I shall shoot a video. Okay, like what kind of camera do I use? Okay, I'm now using the camera on my laptop. How do I look? You start to think. What people would think of me? It really doesn't matter that much how you look. You don't need to look perfect, really. Look at me. You can be very casual, and you don't need to say some fancy things. You can just come up with saying, hello everyone, just hey there, have a good one. Just a couple phrases, just one phrase it can be, but this is a real performance. It's not quite real life. You don't feel the pressure of the real life, because if you don't like the video, you can shoot it again. But still, when you think about uploading it, if you think about that you address it to someone, you start to interact, you start to present yourself, you start to perform. That's a great way to step out of your comfort zone, but still feel that this is just a step. You're not putting too much pressure on yourself. And the cool thing about this is, when you start doing it, start shooting your first video or videos, you start thinking about all the layers of the speaking pattern. How you need to relax, how you need to put power to your speaking, how you want to be more expressive, more engaging with your speaking, what kind of message you want to pass there, what kind of emotions, what kind of positive emotions you want to share. Where do I get those positive emotions? You come to those exercises with a different approach. It's not a stuttering treatment approach. Please remove my pain. It's an approach where you take full responsibility for your speaking. In Free From Stutter program, for example, we have certain initial challenge where we learn the hand technique, where we learn the exercises, where we learn to make our speaking more powerful, more expressive, and again, get the support to say it without speech impediments. But this is just the beginning of your journey to freedom from stuttering. It's just packing the parachute. Then you need to jump. Then you need to show up for constant, regular performance. And that performance, it can consist again from shooting yourself on camera, doing just some phrases, saying some phrases, or it can be short speaking. It can be participating in video calls, because again, you show up and you get into some speaking contact. You need to present yourself somehow there as well. The third way we create that performance thing and feeling and experience is just emulating public speaking environment when we go live in our Free From Stutter Facebook group with some short speeches or with some discussions, whatever, where we get live and we need to present ourselves again. The fourth tool that we use in Free From Stutter program is making real life phone calls, asking for a particular book, how much does it cost, when do they close the store. I mean, some random calls, questions, but here you also need to present yourself, you need to perform. And the fifth thing that we do in our Free From Stutter program, we create short real life situations like asking strangers directions, going to the supermarket, asking where do we have this item in the store. Just asking short questions. It can be just one phrase, but it's also the essence of that interaction. You need to start that interaction, to attract, to draw attention. So these are the types of performances, of speaking settings, speaking interaction that we want to create. And there is a huge separate topic about our self-esteem. How do we get to the point where we actually present ourselves, even though we're not perfect? No one's perfect. There's a huge topic about how we deal with failure, because we'll never get from the first go to the point where we're satisfied with our speaking, with ourselves. And if you stutter, that's okay. If you don't stutter, awesome. The most important thing, you begin to dismantle the core of the stuttering iceberg this way. So that's the one thing which gurus and experts overlook. And that's the one thing that is usually outside of the scope of the conventional therapy. And that's the thing you need to do. So when you feel that you're getting into this trap of stuttering treatment mindset, when you feel like you expect someone to come and take away your pain, get off that road. Again, exercises are awesome, but you need to understand that most of that journey to getting free from stuttering are your steps of showing up and performing, presenting yourself. And ideally, we want to feel the support, we want to feel the foundation when we speak. And again, I'm preaching about the hand stuttering technique, where we put that expressive, powerful, and relaxing speaking on some foundation that we feel that we have certain support when we say what we say. For more videos, subscribe to this YouTube channel. For exercises, join my free Improve program. The link is down below this video. For interaction, join Free from Stutter Facebook group, where you can perform and present yourself. And see you in the next video.